You know what? I want to listen to the radio. I haven't listened to it since I woke up at Doc Mitchell's and I got some new stations. I've been hearing this Radio New Vegas channel a lot around here. Apparently it tells the news.
Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. The Black Mountain radio signal is back after a long absence. Listeners say the new programming is, quote, less for outcasts, more for weirdos. Moving on. NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when technical difficulties with its monorail line to the New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told us a serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. This program was brought to you by Gamora. Gamora. It'll be our secret. More tracks coming your way right now.
Oh, so this is from Vegas. Fulgen, do you think you could wait over here? You're kind of loud with your grumbling. You know what? I'm going to check out the Black Mountain signal. He mentioned that it was up again.
You, Tabitha, I'm here with best friend Tabitha, who has a message for all the dum-dums out there.
It has come to my attention that some of you dum-dums took me a little too seriously in the past when I warned you about the battle cattle. While battle cattle are indeed a dangerous foe, they are one that should be fought ferociously. Recently, I've heard about several incidents where some of you have been running away from a fight where battle cattle were involved. This is not acceptable! No self-respecting soldier of Utopia should ever be seen running like a scared little human! I don't even know why I try. It's not like the dum-dums are even going to understand this.
You heard her, Utopia. Beware the battle cattle, but don't fear the battle cattle. More after this.
Oh, it's a super mutant radio station. Apparently there's a state of Utopia for super mutants. I gotta check that out. Alright, let me check out Mojave Music Radio. Oh, I think that one doesn't have a DJ. It's just music. What about Enclave Radio? Wait, there's an Enclave radio station?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
This is the voice of the United States broadcasting in the desolate wastelands of the world. This is Enclave Radio. I am your host, Alan Morgan, and I'd like to welcome all of you that are listening throughout the wastelands. We have been off the air for far too long, but it's good to say that we are back in action. Unfortunately, America, we are not back in action the way we would like to be. For those of you who are older listeners that might remember us before we were dropped off the air, it used to be the president who would do these addresses, and well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, America, but President John Henry Eden is dead. We got confirmation not too long ago from one of our scouts that managed to come back from the Capitol Wasteland where John Henry Eden was residing. And let me just tell you right now, America, this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy of amazing perspective. You might remember that our last president, President Richardson, was also assassinated. Yeah, I'm afraid I did use that term, America. John Henry Eden was assassinated at his compound in Raven Rock in Washington, D.C., and from all indications, the members of the Brotherhood of Steel are responsible for his death. This is a sad day, America. I am being asked to step into shoes that no one no one could fill. John Henry Eden was the greatest man this country has ever produced. After President Richard's assassination, he took the shattered remains of our country and he moved it with the sole goal of securing this nation's great capital. But he did not go there alone. Oh no. The Brotherhood of Steel, those xenophobic technophiles, after getting their asses handed to them in California, decided to move out to the east as well. Now, I'd just like to take a minute and address all the Enclave listeners out there. There is absolutely no basis for the rumor that is flying around that the Brotherhood used some kind of super robot to attack our troops. That's absolutely ludicrous, and I'm not even going to accept that as anywhere close to what actually happened. So how did it happen, America? How did the President of the United States die? Who's responsible? Well, I'll tell you the truth, America. We're responsible. All of us. Every man, woman, and child living in this great nation. The forces of darkness came knocking on our doors, and we did nothing to stop it. They say the meek shall inherit the earth, but as we all know, America, only the strong survive. And we, sadly, were not strong enough to protect our president. It's our burden of shame, our cross to bear, which is why, America, we need to stop these petty squabbles and breaking into separate factions and join together as one race, one voice, one enclave.
Wow. You know what? That's exactly what I would expect from Enclave, but it's somehow still more fucked up than even Eden's addresses. And also, Liberty Prime was real.
Hostile detected.
Oh no, orbital missiles! Oh no. Liberty Prime! Oh, okay, I'll run. But you need to be okay. Oh god. It was a huge fucking robot that they destroyed with the satellite. I'm definitely gonna have to go to that Henderson bunker and have a serious talk with people. And also bring lots of guns. Let me check out this radio station.
When I say 4th of July, you'll think patriotism, a nice barbecue, and fireworks. And there's no better brand of fireworks than cherry bombs, the little bombs that pack a heck of a wallop. Just light it, throw it, and enjoy the show. It's perfect for birthday parties, cookouts, and, of course, sensitizing all little ones to the sounds and smells of explosions while the inevitable invasion from dirty communists happens and they need to fight viciously to the death. Cherry bombs, your #1 source for boom. Cherry bombs
What
don't
the
be responsible
fuck?
for any injuries resulting from the usage.
That's so fucked up.
Hey there. You looking to indulge yourself in your deepest desires? Want to have your darkest fantasies come to life in front of your very eyes? Gamora can satisfy all your needs. Sex, booze, and caps. Head on down to the Strip and see what we can do for you. Gamora is not responsible for any potential overdoses or sexually transmitted viruses
Wait a
and/or
sec.
diseases.
That ad has
Don't
to
keep me
be
waiting.
recent. Because it mentions
This
caps.
song is dedicated to all those fighting that good fight out there in the Mojave. Whether you're doing whatever you can to put down those Legion bastards, or just trying to survive against a couple of fiends, this song is fast-paced quick action to make sure you get the upper hand on whoever you're fighting. This is Lone Digger by Caravan Palace.
Huh. Alright, that's some pretty damn good music. Let me check out this one, X1 Tales of Wonder.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000 could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, A Wind is Rising by Finn O'Donovan. But first, hear this. Now, X minus 1. And tonight's story, A Wind is Rising.
I'd only been on Corella for 8 months. Not long for a seasoned advanced exploration man like myself, but long enough to know one thing. Before long, I was going to kill me a native Corellan. Maybe I was a little edgy. When you have to live inside a steel and concrete capsule just listening to that fantastic wind howl 24 hours a day, it begins to get you. Anyway, it started when Smanik, he was our Corellan radio man, came up to my quarters to get me. Corellans are a dirty brown and look something like big spiders with 5 hairy tentacles. Yeah?
Smanik, Earthman.
Well?
Other Earthman, tell Smanik, tell this Earthman, come pretty quick.
Okay.
You got lump sugar.
What for?
Smanik, do something favor. Get lump sugar.
No, I don't have sugar. Now beat it.
Maybe you got dead meat? Smanik like dead meat?
No meat. Now get your slimy shape out of
Clayton.
here. Yeah, what's wrong?
Come on down with me. Clayton, I don't think it's good to insult these Corellans.
They have no feelings, you know that. They have no emotional nervous setup.
Just the same, I don't think it's good.
For who?
For you. When you insult somebody by your own standards, you hurt yourself. Even if the object of your insult is a dead thing.
Now, look, Mirishev, I'm an advanced exploration expert. You're an anthropologist. You stick to your stuff, and I'll stick to mine.
Sorry.
Now, what's the fuss about?
The water faucet.
What about it?
It isn't running.
What?
I pounded it and put a probe in. It must be blocked out at the storage tank.
How could it be blocked out there?
I don't know. Maybe the wind rolled a boulder at it.
More likely one of those spiders like Smanik was fiddling with it.
The natives have been told not to tamper with the water line.
They don't like us. They might...
I thought you said they were incapable of feeling like or dislike or any emotion.
I did. I know they can't feel, but... still, somehow I get the sensation that they resent us. I'm glad we've only got one of them inside the station.
Regardless of that, we can't live with our water supply cut off.
Oh, listen to that wind. It'll be murder out there.
I'll go. It's my turn.
You wouldn't know what to do if you got there.
It seems quite simple.
Well, come to think of it, it could be a 2-man job if there's a boulder.
The wind gauge reads 82 miles an hour.
Just a light breeze on Corella.
Maybe we ought to wait till it drops a little.
Let's ask the gink.
Why don't we take him along?
The gink?
He knows the terrain, and like all his kind, he's a fantastic sailor. But they take those woven land boats out in 100-mile winds with no qualms at all.
The Brute, 14 tons, and it has a diesel engine. We don't need any sailors. If we have to use a steadying sail, I can handle it as well as any Spider-Man.
Just a suggestion.
Well, you stick to anthropology. Now open the locks, and we'll get the Brute out.
We'll need Smanik to close the locks after us.
Fucking
Smanik.
specious.
Earthman, call.
Clayton and I are going out in the heavy land car. What's the weather going to be like?
Wind come up along little more. Not anything to be afraid. You got sugar.
Oh, here you are, Smanik.
Very good sailing today. You got sail on truck.
We have a steadying sail made of steel.
Woven reeds. More better. A more easy time.
We know all about that. Open the lock, Nerishev. The Brute, as we called it, was armored like a tank and streamlined. It had vision slits of shatterproof glass, and most of its 14 tons were centered near the ground. It was sealed from dust and had 6 giant tires made of woven steel mesh. It was built to take the rocky terrain of the planet Corella and to navigate in the gale-force winds that battered the planet. I strapped myself into the cockpit, and we were ready. The wind indicator told me that the winds had risen to 94 miles an hour and rising.
You're listening to A Wind is Rising, tonight's attraction on X-1.
Nighttime. The lights dim down for the curtain in theaters on Broadway. A Hollywood star greets the first guests at her party in Beverly Hills. In Chicago, the police plan to close the ring on a band of desperate criminals. At a world-famous circus in Paris, France, the star trapeze artist climbs to a precarious perch high over the center ring. In a Las Vegas nightclub, a hush falls over the tables as one of the great singing stars of our time steps out onto the stage. And in New York's Radio City, the studio warning light flashes, stand by. Nightline is about to go on the air, taking you to wherever in the country, wherever in the world, exciting things are happening at night. To make you more than a spectator, to make you a participant in these events. This is Walter O'Keefe, inviting you to join us on Nightline, your line to exciting entertainment at night, every Monday through Thursday night over most of these NBC stations.
Now back to X-1 and A Wind is Rising.
I looked out over the instrument panel. The Corella station had been set down like an overturned bowl on a rocky plain. In order to get to the water storage tank, we had to travel 6 miles. Immediately around the station were our boulder baffles, huge spikes of concrete designed to stop the boulders that the wind rolled off the mountains. I shoved the brute into gear, and we were on our way. Hang on, Neryshev. Here we go.
The wind is up to 97. Do you suppose we're in for a storm?
The gink said it was fine sailing weather.
For a Corellan, maybe.
Well, this baby can take it. You see the pipeline yet?
The sand is pretty thick in the vision glass. There it is. About 2 points on the starboard bow.
I see it now. What's our speed?
3 miles an hour.
Give us a little more oxygen in here.
Right.
Hey, there's something coming toward us.
Looks like a boulder. Hard right.
That was no boulder. That was one of those ginks out for a sail in his land ship.
Playful, aren't they?
Next one scares us like that, I'll shoot him, so help me.
I don't understand how they can sail those flimsy ships on those wooden rollers.
What's our wind speed now?
102 miles an hour. I think it's going to be a storm, Clay.
Well, there's no point in turning back now. We can't live without water.
I'm game if you are.
What's the strongest storm we've ever recorded?
Well, let's see. In the 8 months we've been here, about 168 miles an hour.
Well, this baby was built to navigate up to 200. We'll be all right. We had had 2 storms on Corella since Earthmen had been there. The first one had almost wiped out the station. That's why the boulder traps were built. The second one had leveled an entire mountain range on the other end of the plain. By the time we reached the water storage tanks, the wind was up to 113 miles an hour. Well, this is it. One of us has got to put on an air suit and repair the damage. Means blowing out the line.
It's my turn.
What do you know about mechanical things? I'll go out. Fasten that nylon rope to me and winch it as I go along. I'll anchor the brute in the lee of the concrete breaker.
Maybe you ought to wait till the wind dies down.
It isn't dying down. It's rising.
We can radio Smanik at the station, get a report.
You think he'll give us a straight answer?
I trust him. Hello, Smanik. This is Neryshev calling Smanik.
This Smanik, Earthman.
How long is this wind going to keep up?
Long time. Maybe even longer.
More than 2 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Clayton is going out to fix the pipe. We'll be back in an hour if everything holds.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready. Lock my helmet.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Open the chamber. Here I go. Outside, the wind thundered and roared like breaking surf. Once I was almost blown free, but the line held. By the time I crawled back into the ship, I'd cleared the water lines, but my suit was shredded and my air extractor was clogged with dust. The wind was up to 145 miles an hour and still rising.
You all right?
Yeah. All right, let's get this thing going. It's starting to shiver in the wind.
Right.
What's wrong?
I can't start the engine.
Here, let me try. Sand. Sand in the bearings, in the injectors, every place. She'll never start.
Good grief.
Well, we'll have to sail her back.
What?
I said we'll have to sail her back.
At wind speeds like this? It'll be like sailing a little dinghy across the Atlantic in a gale.
Well, what else can we do?
We'll put out the auxiliary anchor and ride it out.
No. One good boulder and we'd be goners. Come on, raise the sail.
Okay.
Release anchors. Hang on. Here we go. We raised the steel sail and tacked into the wind. Shoved by a wind that had now reached 175 miles an hour, the 14-ton brute soon picked up to a speed of 40 miles an hour. Even reefed down and heeled over, I couldn't hold her. And I had to winch out the steel main sheet to straighten her up. Then it began to happen. The thing we feared the most. What's that?
The wind is tossing rocks at us.
Oh. Well, as long as we're not capsized, we'll be okay.
She's heeling at 45 now.
It's no problem. So rock smashed the visor. Put on your oxygen mask.
Wait.
Boiling along now, 75 miles an hour.
Clay, there's a boulder coming. Down the mountain.
I can't head her up. Get off. No use, I'll have to drive.
You can't.
Hang on! Wait, mistress. That boulder's as big as a city block.
You're headed for the cliffs.
Winch in the sheet again. We'll head up toward the station. It's no use. I can't head her up. We'll have to run with the wind.
You can't run far. The cliffs are dead ahead.
Let's drag the emergency anchor. Maybe it'll slow us down.
Suppose it foul.
Worry about that later. Drag it. That's better. I may even be able to head her up now.
Those cliffs.
Holy smoke, look at that. A dozen Corral land ships sailing toward the station like it was a fine afternoon.
They usually keep away from the station.
There's no time to worry now. Winch in the sheet. I'm going to head up higher. What was that?
Boulder. Snapped the mast off.
Holy mother.
We're being blown toward the cliffs.
Is that land anchor out?
Yes.
Oh, pray it'll foul and hold us. Pray.
Our Father who art... We're fouled.
Yeah. And it's holding. Now if it'll just bite in.
I think we're anchored. But listen to those boulders. We won't last 10 minutes anchored here.
Move over.
Why?
I'm going to try the diesel again. I don't know, maybe it's a long shot, but maybe. It's caught. It's caught. Come on, baby. Start. Start! That's it. She's running. She's running. All right, let go of that anchor. Warm up that coffee, Smanik. We're coming in. Somehow the engine coughed and spit us back to the station. The boulder defense was completely flattened, and one side of the capsule was dented by a huge rock. But otherwise it was still holding. The winds were up to 212 miles an hour at the time. A dozen Corellan land ships were moored by their long vines on the lee side of the station, and more ships were coming in every minute. We slid into the tube and entered the capsule.
Welcome, Earthmen. You have nice sail.
Shut up, you crummy gink.
Earthmen not pleased.
You told us the weather would hold.
Old Corellan saying, one can predict weather, but not do something about it. Very true.
Yeah. We almost died out there. You wouldn't have been planning anything like that, would you?
Smanak no understand.
No? Well, do you understand this? Now get out of here. Get out before I blow your ugly head off with this gun.
Very difficult for Smanak to be without head. Impossible to eat sugar or dead meat for almost 3 weeks before new head grow. Smanak join his people now for summer festival.
Now you do that. Pronto.
Wait a minute, Smanak. Did you say summer festival?
Oh, yes. Ancient Corellan festival. When summer ends, we go sail away to caverns in far west.
Caverns?
Yes. We live in caverns for 3 months. In that way, we have safety.
Safety? From what?
From winds. After summer is over, come winter storms. First storm of year about to start any moment now.
About to start? What do you call what we've been having? The wind is 238 miles an hour right now. The brute's ruined, the boulder defense is leveled, the foundations are cracked.
Very regrettable. Perhaps you like to come stay with us in caverns. Bring sugar.
Impossible. We need oxygen, food, our own water.
Very regrettable indeed. Well, maybe you don't stay and colonize our planet after all. Yes. Really big wind starting to rise now. Smanak go.
Goodbye, Smanak. Thanks for your help.
Smanak do favor. Glad to help. You got sugar?
It seems like they might have set it up for a part 2 or something. It really wasn't that resolved. I kinda hope the humans just get off the planet and leave the natives alone. Especially the main character. He was an asshole. It's an interesting premise for an alien world, though. What if the whole thing was a ruse just to get the humans off the planet? That'd be really funny. Let me try this one.
Do you like Caravan? Do you also like caps? Well, come on down to the Crimson Caravan for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We are hosting a caravan tournament with a prize pool of 20,000 caps, open to anyone. Entry fee is 500 caps, so wander down to our state-of-the-art, cheat-proof establishment and believe in the heart of the cards. Terms and conditions apply. We are not responsible for your death.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I've never played that game. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Attention, freelance mercenaries. The new California Republic is interested in your services and is now offering 1,000 NCR dollar contracts with a potential bonus. Offer ends soon.
Oh, interesting. They must not be doing that well if they're sending out such a hasty message. Let me see what this one is.
This is Agnesa Kokoshova from Honey Pomelo Station at Terrorist Irritant. We have an emergency situation. Red code Papa Oscar, India, Sierra Oscar, November. We urgently need assistance. Head to the following coordinates if you can help. Please hurry. We don't have much time.
Oh, wow, that's a distress call. And I think that's SOS in Morse code. I'll have to see what I can do when I'm in that area. I don't know how far away it is. There's so many people here in the Mojave that need help. What the fuck is the NCR doing?
Friend of
Come on, Tholdren.
mine used to lay a pile of caps outside the campfire at night. He said it was to ward off raiders.
Huh.
So I asked him, how in Jesus' name are a dozen caps going to stop a raider? And he says, because they can't count past 11.
That's a little mean. Come on, Hope. Oh man, I spent all night listening to the radio by the campfire. It's morning already.